It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield-Greene County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey, good morning to you on Wednesday. It is a special election results version of the podcast today. So good morning.
Which means late night, early morning, but I guess it's probably a late night and early morning for everybody today because that's just how it rolls on election, the day after election, we should say. All right, here we go. The campaigns are over, the votes are in, and Donald Trump is the 47th president of these United States after pulling off wins in Georgia, North Carolina, Wisconsin, and the biggie Pennsylvania. He ended up with electoral votes 277 to 226. So Donald J. Trump. Now here at home, there were a lot of ballot issues in Missouri in the governor's race. It was an easy victory for Republican Mike Kehoe. The current lieutenant governor defeated Democrat Crystal Quaid, earning 59% of the vote. Of course, Mike Parson was not running again because of term limits. And for lieutenant governor, it will be Republican Dave Wassinger with 57% of the vote.
And in the United States Senate, incumbent Republican Josh Hawley easily defeated Democrat challenger Lucas Kunce. Hawley got 55.5% of the vote. It was a very expensive campaign for the Senate, but Hawley will return to Washington for his second term as U.S. Senator. In the U.S. House, in our area, District 7, Eric Burleson won with 71.5% of the vote. And in District 8, Republican Jason Smith took home 77% of the vote. And over in District 4, Republican Mark Alford retained his seat with 71% of the vote. Attorney General, Republican Andrew Bailey earned re-election with 60% of the vote. And Secretary of State, Republican Denny Hoskins won 58% of the vote.
All right. And for Treasurer, Vivek Malik won re-election with 58%. Missouri Amendment 2 barely passed, which will legalize sports betting. It passed with 50.2% of the vote. So we will see sports betting in the state now. Also, Missouri Amendment 3 passes, which reverses our state's near ban on abortion and enshrines a constitutional right to abortion in Missouri. Now, it narrowly passed as well with 51.9% of voters saying yes. I can tell you, I looked at the concentration map of voters. St. Louis County definitely pushed that one over the edge to win.
Missouri Amendment 5 would have allowed for a casino at Lake of the Ozarks. That failed. It barely failed, but it failed. 52.3% of the voting public said no to that. Voters also rejected Amendment 6, which would have implemented new court fees. Voters passed Amendment 7, which is to ban ranked choice voting and open primaries, and amend the Constitution to specify that only U.S. citizens can vote. That passed with 68.4% of the vote.
And Proposition A, Missouri Prop A, will raise the minimum wage to $13.75 per hour and then up to $15 per hour. It passed with 57.6% of the vote. Also, Springfield sales tax question 1 will provide money from sales tax to fund the police fire pension, as well as some capital projects in Springfield. It also easily passed. So there's some of the biggest issues. That's certainly not all of them, not all the races, but that's some of the biggest ones that we have so far. And what you think, Ethan? Are you surprised?
There were some judgeships also on the ballot that you can look up if you're interested in those. It would have taken us too long to list, but it was an interesting night. Some of the amendments and propositions I'm a little surprised with. But
Amendment 3, which for me personally was a big one, it was something I was watching closely. And if you look at the voter concentration map on that one, it just goes to show you the populace in St. Louis County, because I mean, it failed all over the map. But that one was a huge chunk of voters voting yes on that. And so Sometimes you can feel like, well, the rest of the state would outweigh. But I mean, when you start looking at population, concentration in St. Louis, Kansas City, it is a much bigger percentage of people.
Well, I think that's pretty typical of most, the way that most votes turn out. It's urban, rural. It's a battle between, if you look at the country, I mean, it's one shade, and then there are spots where it's a different shade.
Right,
So
right.
it is urban versus rural.
Yeah, for sure.
For how votes turn out in this country.
Wanted to make a mention of one other story, really sort of election related, not really, but Wright County, just grieving this morning after a couple there in their 70s lost their lives on the way to work the polls. They were literally driving early in the morning, all the flood water that we got because of the rain, they were swept away, as well as other cars. Other cars were swept away as well, but everybody else was able to get to safety except for that couple in their 70s on their way to work the polls. So Wright County, I love Wright County so much. It's very rural and just very together. It's a unified community, and they were driving at 4:00 in the morning to go get everything set up for the election day, and state highway, state route H right there by Beaver Creek. So there will be much more to come on their life and legacy, I'm sure, today. Also, we want to mention before we go, the contest is still underway at aroundtheozarks.com. You can go check that out, scroll down to Branson Bowl, and we are giving away game tickets for the Chiefs game. And that game coming up on November 29th against the Raiders. So we have free tickets to give away to that. And you'll also win some Branson official vacation destination of the Kansas City Chiefs custom gear.
Yeah.
But you got to enter to play at aroundtheozarks.com, and you will need a keyword, Ethan.
The keyword is glamping.
There you go. Keyword is glamping. So we hope that you will participate in that, and we'll let you know the winner on Friday morning. Otherwise, this has been a special election edition, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. Once every 4 years or so.
Yeah, there you go. I know.
But that's it. That'll the election is the majority of our news. We'll be back with more news tomorrow, and we hope you have a fantastic Wednesday. And you know what? This is a country where for generations we vote, we disagree, and then we say, okay, well, then let's move on.
We move on, and we are kind.
Of whether
we are kind to our neighbors. Yes.
Regardless of whether your person won or not. So hoping that happens this time. And right. I think it will. So we'll see you tomorrow.
And now Ethan is going to sing a solo of God Bless the USA. Hit it, E.
Yeah. I'm going to go get some coffee.
Bye.